This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Good morning, true seekers and true crime junkies. Welcome back to another episode of Hit the Road Jack, Finding the Zodiac. We're going to start by introducing to the show Terry Battcher.
Hello.
Good morning. And Harriette Sucher.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. How is everybody doing today?
Good.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm looking forward to Terry B's perspective. All the more perspectives we have on these cases, it's so vital because then, it's really helping.
Good.
Right?
I'm glad it is.
Well, we're going to go ahead then and switch right on over to the PowerPoint presentation and start with some of the things that Terry has sent. This is the Z340 that you have mentioned your patterns of 7, 11, and 21. So if you want to explain that to us, let's go for it.
Okay, this pattern that you see on there is one of the things that one of the people before us, somebody either swearing in or orange check or code chip breakers discovered this pattern and printed this outline. And I took it from there. Oh, M is the 13th letter of the alphabet. This is significant because there's only a couple of these on the Z340, a couple patterns. And then the O is the 15th letter of the alphabet. 0 is O, rather. And minus 6 down below on the F, which is the 6th letter of the alphabet, gives you 13. So you get black jack out of that. Now this is just a superficial thing. This is an observation again, okay? And
you said -6. So how does -6 become a positive 6?
It's down below. You could interpret it and say divide by 6, but what sense would that make? And so, but you're going to see I was up late last night because I came to realize that he was trying to educate us as to how to find these things with stuff that he did a long time ago. So there's a foundation for this. But anyway, so I added the 15 to the 6, and you get 21, and we have that blackjack, or we have that another one of his infamous what do you call it? His gambling hints. So let's see what I wrote there. I said +1 n factor added to 21 would of course give us 22. So depending on what you think that symbol might represent on the far right, you would get that. So I'm not saying this one's got a 22, but anyway, give us the next pattern and I'll explain that. The best I understand it anyway.
All right. There we go.
This is a reformation of that was done by someone else. I'm not sure who. I've had this on my computer for a long time. And what they did is you can see that the 340 symbols are not in order, but somehow through their code breaking efforts, they came up with these two patterns that rearranged or did a reformation. So in other words, it doesn't say her up in the upper left-hand corner anymore, and all of it's different. You got the word gay down the lower end. You get some different plain text possibilities there. But so anyway, notice that B is the second letter of the alphabet, and you go down and you get your 22 out of the V. Of course, it's inverted, and then you get over to the other side here. Let's see, 6, F is the 6th, and so you have a possible 911 and a 7-11 hint is what I'm observing with this. This is what I'm saying. Am I saying this is rock solid? I'm just saying, isn't it interesting that the V came up? Now, there's another thing I didn't send you guys. I want to show you is another one of my documents that has to do with the 340 shows that there were an uncanny number of these V-type symbols on there. There were a large number of them, both in upright
So
and
somebody
inverted.
I'm sorry, I'm now trying to understand. Somebody reorganized the 340 and the symbols on it?
Yeah, probably for some pattern. They were some secondary thing that they observed. In other words, they probably kept running it through a computer, and they said, well, what else does this thing cough up that's sensible without interjecting any words or changing anything? How can we read?
Well, they changed everything because this looks nothing like the 340.
And you can consider this to be, I would say, a reflective pattern of the first pattern that I showed you.
But how do you bank reflective pattern if they've ultimately
because
changed
these
the
two
message?
Patterns, the previous pattern I showed you and this pattern are identical.
Yeah, but that one's the 340, plain as day. That's the 340.
Right, that's the 340.
If you find a pattern in that, then yes, stick with it and run with it. But if somebody's going to go and reorganize all the symbols to come up with a pattern, that seems a little haphazard as far as I'm concerned.
And then I respect that, and I can appreciate that. I'm not holding this out there and saying that, hey, this is it right here. I'm just saying this is the alternate pattern. These same folks, either Swearingen, or Orenchek, David Orenchek, or one of those type of people, were running this stuff through computers, and they said, well, does this thing cough any other patterns? You see. And when they reconstituted,
but they're not coughing up a pattern on the original document. They've changed all of the
symbols. All of the symbols are used. There's 340
right,
symbols.
but I can make any pattern. Hold on, I can make any pattern. I can make any. If I rearrange these symbols in any position I want to come up with a pattern, I can make a pattern.
But that's a double pattern, Nanette. That's not a single pattern.
That means all they had to do was put the symbols in that position in order to come up with that pattern.
Well, okay.
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Jack himself has said, and I got the decoded misses, that for that Z340 they used Nixon's IBM system, so and they could rearrange and do all kinds of things, just like he's saying. So that's how come Jack. He says he sent the answers in the 2000s to before Orenchek became famous. But he's nailing stuff. You're nailing stuff I've already seen. Thank you. Oh God.
This is something.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, this is something a computer coughed up, and it's uncanny that it would generate two identical patterns. So a pattern is definitely involved in the Z340 is the point. Some sort of pattern. So it's more than your mind is going to collect, because it's something that's, if it's done by a computer, it's done rapid fire. This to do this manually would take a long time, because it's so it just coughs that up. That's what it is on the surface. Just take it for what it is for now and don't worry about it, is my point. Okay, so move to the last pattern that the Z340, not the last pattern, but I don't know if you have the one with the L's. I sent that to you last night, so skip that for now. And also, the original Z340 has two L patterns, small L-shaped patterns that are uncanny, that have been known about for a while. I sent them to you last night. They do cough up some stuff that's interesting, but set it aside. Let's move on to the next document. And we can get to Harriette stuff too. The next one you got, Nanette.
This is it. This is the next one that you've got, which is the button.
Yeah, this is the Zodiac, one of the subsequent Zodiac speaking documents that would have happened after 9/4/69. In other words, after August 4th of 1969, which is the debut of this is the Zodiac speaking. Now understand that when I first studied this, to me the KING thing, the Tim King thing, was important. And you've got, if you look, you can see a structural anagram appears where the word this is. So I'll explain that. And I'll get to reading this left-hand side in a minute, but I'll give you a little bit of an outline here. The B, of course, is the second letter of the alphabet. So think of the number 2. So B equals 2. 2 times 11 is going to be 22.
Okay, but where do you get your 11 from?
Well, way down in the unusual left-hand side there is the misspelled word until with an extra L in it. None of the other double L's on the document have that. So I use that one. I use what's significant. This is called what I'm doing is using the most simple and obvious significant things that I can to come up with and say what I'm saying here. And I am on the hunt for 11, 13, 22. There's no question. That's my query. But I get it simply by saying, okay, the B is a second. I'll use that as a multiplier on the 11, and I'll get a 22. It's not on there, obviously. A 13 is on there very obviously, okay? And we learned later that 11s are all over the thing, or possibly all over everything, by the way he encrypted his double L's to act as an 11. So the most significant thing on there, of course, is that 13. And 13, you will see in the history of Zodiac Jack, is something that he had a fixation with. So there's a lot of things we could say about this thing on the right-hand side. I'll try reading the message that I sent to you here. I spent some time going over this particular Zodiac Killer button document, mainly because of the number 13, standout hint. First and foremost, I consider it to be primarily one of many Zodiac Tim King OCCK documents, hence the file path name. This study today comes via the very recent 7-11 pathway of discoveries with his intentionally misspelled words, oversized, and partition letters, etc. There are many things to say about this particular document, but the focus today was taken in this order. First came the realization of the singular until at the bottom there, that one I was talking about with the extra L in it, and 11 hint. I take an 11 hint from that because it's got it's got the second L, and it's lonesome, it's all by itself. Second, the large and partitioned standout word B in the upper left-hand corner. Let's see here. It's hard for me to read here, but it's a little small. The letter B is the second letter of the alphabet, so 2 times 11 is 22. Trust me in that the flow of several key document hints are redundant with King, 11, 13, and 22 signals. Redundancy is the key word of observation when dealing with Zodiac Jack documents and messages. T King is a standout item in the header, but so is the capital letter B. I don't mean to throw you off your chronological presentation, but these things practically fell into my lap. When I first heard of the 1122 King 4X knife murders of youngsters on 11/13/22, that little bit of information forced me to look deeper. As soon as I looked at the aerial view of that place, I knew for certain that I was seeing yet another Zodiac Jack operation. And this is despite the fact that Jack Torrance was already dead. I also put a box or circle around some of the uncanny key items that are pertinent to the Moscow, Idaho 4 by knife, I borrowed this term there, by knife slayings. At least 2 of the victims were monitored on a live stream outdoors by a video provider named Twitch, I think properly spelled Twitch. And this document has that same misspelled word as Twitch, Twich. Let's see here. I should read my own stuff here. In which TW also signals the word two. So we have a second affirmation for going to the word two. I also view this TIS from the header as a structural anagram that means TM, capital T, capital M, IS, to actually mean Tim's, or Tim's with the apostrophe. Let's see. The letter Q was circled a long time ago because, as you already know via your own work, it's a Zodiac Jack 101 item. That's why that's sitting down there circled. And we'll find that we're going to find that when we get the OCC case too, because it's on the secret witness document, which is loaded for bear. Let's see, we're going to leave off here. Attached is the all-important secret witness document. I've got that also here. I sent it to you.
There it is.
Okay, there it is. And this is only really a look for. In this case, we're only really looking at what I'm after here to point out. that document is so full of so many things that's crazy. But the word king is on that document, clearly on that document twice, and the hint for 11 is there. But anyway, I'll get back to the point I'm making here with this document. And the little list. See, on the far left-hand corner of this document is an old annotated document of mine where I said, "Oh, look, he put emphasis on mo list. I have a little list of people that will not be missed." You see, and so. That's what that says on the left-hand side. I don't even need to read that to you because I'm anxious to get to Harriette's stuff. But he seldom used the word murder or versus kill or die. It rarely used the word murder. So when I see that M, like when murder's there, the M is the 13th letter of the alphabet. Hold that thought. But also notice that these B's on here, which are made of 2 strokes, as you know, some of them are opened up and act like the 1 and the 3. So he is placing, in my opinion, by structure, a great amount of emphasis on the number 13. So also there's another little thing, without reading my own stuff, another little thing to notice on the secret witness document is that he's slanted or tilted, clocked somewhat, so many degrees clockwise. He tilted the N's and made them look like Z's. Zodiac hint right there. And you'll see that he took another, let's see, where the heck is it in here? One of his V's in the word Lincoln. It's really it's supposed to be a letter R, but it more greatly resembles a letter V.
You mean a letter L?
Or the letter L. Good point.
Lincoln.
But anyway, remember, my focus is anything that has to do with 11, King, 11, 13, and 22. So I get a 22 because the V is the 22nd letter of the alphabet. So I would recommend that people who want this, do what I do, get a screenshot of it and read it and study for yourself. And you don't have to listen to me stammer across, reading my own poor and marginal writings. But that's what I'm looking for. And he obviously had a fixation with 11s and 13s. And 22s, wait till you see the Z340, as when somebody's pointed out all the V, the natural, vertical V type symbols and the inverted ones and the ones cocked to the side. It's, but anyway, we can move on to whatever next one I laid on you, and we can take a look at that.
You didn't. That was it.
I did.
That was
okay.
All.
I got a lot more of them. We'll talk about them later.
Not a problem. All right, so that brings us to the bus bomb diagrams, which we know after some time with this, Harriette has kind of refined her bus bomb diagram solve, which included the 6-page bus bomb letter. Correct, Harriette?
Oh, yeah, boy, that was easy.
So basically,
I'm myself when. Well, I just wanted to say real quick, I kept on telling myself as I was doing it, you wanted to do this, you wanted to do this. Each page yielded information. Oh, God.
So you have a bunch of words on each page that are circled in blue lines. You used these particular phrases and words in your solve?
Yeah. Then I had to identify some of the symbols and then, of course, anagram everything. And each page I felt like I was working on a 5,000-piece puzzle.
It kind of looks like it if you're to add up all these different things that you have circled here. That's just crazy. That's a lot of information. And so this was the number 2, the paperclip version, you said.
Yeah, because I'm understanding correctly, there's 2 versions that are found online. You'll find the ones without the paperclip and the ones with the paperclip. So I think it's a version of Jack recycling some of the older stuff from circa 1970, 71, but this is actually 74. So
paperclip
between the 2.
Isn't there an Operation Paperclip, or do I have that wrong?
Oh, yes, there is. And Mark Felt's involved with Operation Paperclip.
And was Paperclip also related to MK Ultra?
By far, yes, it was. It was the people that they snuck out of out of Europe, that were working for the Nazis. They just happened to be brilliant scientists. Doesn't matter what side they were on. They just really, in the end, wanted them out. And it took quite a few years, according to what I've seen, to sneak them out. That was Operation Paperclip, to redocument them and kind of put them in certain places. And, it's just amazing. But,
so it looks like here I've got all of the different... gosh, this was a lot of work, Harriette. It looks like 4 pages of information that was anagrammed here. That is a lot. So this is the actual bomb. Let's see, the bus bomb letter paperclip version. I like killing people because it is so much fun. So is this the 340?
That sounds like the intro to the 408.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and read us your bus bomb solve?
I'm going to have to read it in sections because I don't have the completed bus bomb solve in the book that I have here. So I can read just each section, and
go for it.
each page yielded puzzle pieces. So let's go with the hold on a second. Oh my God, come on. The first one was, okay, I'm not reading it. Come on. It says 6 cents postage. Top President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing page 1, page 2. So page 1 says 69 bus bomb letter and envelope, 1974 paperclip version decoded, 11/9/74 evening, San Francisco exam, 14:44 p.m. CC carbon copy to President Gerald Ford. I.O. documents in order. Do you have that one?
I'm looking for it. Come on.
Your voice sounds pretty good.
Why don't you go ahead and read it? And because I only have right now available is the section of page 6, 4/6 of 6, and the definite most important one, which was the page 646. That this is really stand out.
You don't have this solve available to you right now? It's only because I called you on the weekend and said have these ready.
Yeah, but I'm having issues here. I got cartel people bothering me about the place that I got. So it's really
okay. All right, let me.
So
all right, I don't know that it makes any sense for me to read it because I don't understand any of it. So,
you go ahead and read it, and we'll work with you. I can't read it. It's too small.
11/9/74 evening, San Francisco Examiner, 5:14:44 p.m. Carbon copy to President Gerald Ford. I.O. documents in order. Fuck you, San Francisco Chronicle. Rot. H.T. Harry Truman. Time. Francis Brown. Mirror wall message. Anagram for heaven's sakes. Catch me before I kill more. I cannot control myself. Has my name. World War II vet. J.W. Terrence. Hiren's UTI under the influence of OSS, Office of Strategic Services. Truth serum, got convicted. President Kennedy, Utopia, died 11/22/63. I killed Lee Bowers II. Attorney General RFK died 6/5/68. I sent approximately 23 facsimiles, 1974. 11/2/74 sent nomen nessio belli 6 sideways president Thomas Jefferson 1 cent stamps 6 times killer with 12/9/1969 postmark sent on or about 11/8/74 the 11/8/1969 forget me not cards American greetings copyright information hidden under FBI laboratory 1 inch Cleveland Corporation USA MCMLXV. Obviously, that's a number. I don't know what that number is without working it out. Exclamation 6/6 _ December, July, August, September. Must print in paper. 340 cipher. Operation Paperclip. Group. Oh, well, there I answered my own question about was that an operation. Group of Nazi laboratory scientist now at NASA for Kennedy Moon Quest, Mark Felt, now dubbed Deep Throat by Washington Post, is Operation Paperclip pilot who flew approximately 30 or small groups at a time. His hippie Weather Underground organization daughter is in FBI. Pig's logs. Watergate 7, 12:24 a.m. used tape on door locks. Burglary reporters saw eavesdroppers, Bay of Pigs, Sturgis, McCord, Martinez, 2 chapstick tubes, Pepsi can, bugs in garage. Can also honor about 6/16/72 Vice President Spiro Agnew wiping out 21 pages of Oval Office bugs, tapes, IBM password but the main documents printed is in press, Secretary Ziegler tapes. Patricia Hearst disappeared. Phnom Penh, Cambodia, Vietnam maps maker, Postcard King Roberts, Lightning Amen, Louis Beam, KKK, POW McCain is Kathleen Weed, baby's father, UIR, UBI, IEUS, Remedium, Where's the Remedy, Laboratory, OSS, CIA, Guy Frank Olson quit, sorry for printing 411, New York City and San Francisco City regions, paper files, George. Who's George?
George W. Bush, perhaps. George Herbert Walker Bush,
Yeah, I think
maybe.
so.
It just says George, so I'm not sure.
You did fine. He's explaining everything, his life
You did
and
great.
the CIA, MK Ultra crap, all the way from beginning to that year. So you did fine.
That's
Okay.
a lot. That's a lot
in
of
the 6
information.
pages.
Yeah, so let's go to page
Actually,
number
7
2. Let's do
Okay.
page number
Yeah,
2
do page-
now. Let's
Number-
see.
Handout, page 2.
Hunter White and that's okay. So page 1 leaves off with George. So it's not Bush. It goes on to say Hunter White.
Hunter.
So that's
Okay.
George Hunter White, and Sidney
Good.
Gottlieb pushed Frank Wilson out the window on 11/28/1953. UIR. Did East Asia Shiro Ishii? Oh, that's Unit 731, right? We brought them over here after they committed genocide and killed all kinds of people in their little experimentation with giving people anthrax and herpes and exsanguination and nasty, nasty stuff. So did East Asia Shiro Ishii, did Senator Prescott Bush aid Otil?
Adelie Lundgren.
Oh,
Audley. Okay, Lundgren. Did New York Post editor San, did Prescott Bush widow Dorothy say, what does he mean by did in front of all these names?
Did they save the remedy? This is the instant remedy, is that particular stamp. It takes like 3 days, maybe a week. That's the instant remedy to get off the MK Ultra spell. The long-term remedy is to become.
So he's asking
the long-term
if any of
remedy
these
is
people.
Catholic.
so
he's asking if.
Yeah.
So he's asking if any of these people have it. Save 2-cent U.S. Scott deposit.
It's the stamp. It's the particular stamp. The
Cincinnati,
2 cent
Ohio.
Washington stamp.
DE, President Eisenhower, Saudi, 1953, 666, EO, evil execute order for World Trade Center time bombs on 9/11/01, peyote 999, stamp remedy to reverse, cure the MK Ultra spells, need stamp remedy for Alcoholics Anonymous at UC Davis. Phillips 66 map, photoelectric Paytech Felipe atomic clock, 11 a.m. after midnight, Momo for sacking DA John Mitchell, getting Nixon resignation, ugly New York Ches Ninen, Mellon.
Yes,
Ches Ninen Mellon niece, Pittsburgh, PA editor Scaife, SCAIFE. What's that?
SBAISC. I think that's the editor. Momo, Sam Giancana pays him off for helping get rid of Nixon by helping do a whole bunch of things with art.
Okay, so
laughing,
Avery
at the end.
Avery Brundage and Princess Katharina Marion Stefani Charlotte von Roos, a wedding present, Sam Giancana, Momo, Goon, Bobby, Donati, Rob, the prominent American Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, one Edward Manet, Ches Tortoni, 3 Rembrandts, Young Man Self-Portrait, Lady and Gentleman in Black, Seascape, Christ in the Storm of the Sea of Galilee, S. Edgar Degas, Leaving the Paddock, Procession on a Road Near Florence, 3 Mounted Jockeys, 2 Studies, Artistic Soiree, Vermeer, The Concert, Go Vert Flank, landscape with an obelisk, Napoleon, Imperial Guards, bronze finial eagle, Chinese GU stored in De Young Museum basement in Golden Gate Park, USA, United Services Organization, Marilyn Monroe Entertainment, attorney, now a USPS lawyer, Warren Andrews, Mark Felt pilot, mail art stamped limited quantity via WHO, World Health Organization, and Red Cross Switzerland, Paul Mellon wife, Bunny, to, I don't know, you got a bunch of arrows going everywhere, Crossstrid's bad house.
He's saying that she used to drive and bus it through all through Europe to the people. All that art went missing in 1974. They copied them,
Gotcha.
And the fake stuff happened in 1990. That was all copies.
Bad House by Bus. David Frost is to ask Olympics Avery, not Paul Avery of San Francisco Chronicle, of Montecito, California, who financed Asian Art Museum wing of, and then it must carry on to another page. Let's see. Imperial Guards, Mark Felt, Leaving the Paddock, Ches Tortoni, Procession on a Road Near Florence, 3 Mounted Okay. All right. So going on to, I don't understand. It ends with wing of DE. What is DE? Montecito, California, who financed Asian Art Museum wing of,
yes.
What is DE?
OE.
The museum. He financed the Young Museum. So this was planned years in advance. All this moving of art.
That was a big deal. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, so page 3 says Young Museum then leaves Olympics, about Brundage and San Francisco Chronicle editor donate to committee to re-elect the president. For President Ford, as standard operating procedure, next year is Sam Giancana, mouth to savor bullets, and Frank Sheeran to kill International Brotherhood Teamsters Union Wisconsin manager, cappuccino lover Hoffa. On or about 8/31/1969, cipher, I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous. Of all, to kill something gives me the most thrilling experience. It is even better than getting your rocks off with a girl. The best part of it is that when I die, I will be reborn in paradise, and all of the I have killed will become my slaves. I will not give you my name because you will try to slow down or stop my collecting of slaves for my afterlife. No address. In Shitty SF Mayor Joey Alioto, Wisconsin mob boss Balistrieri.
Balestri. Frank Balestri.
Okay. Detective Toshi, distribution area, two teens, Lake Herman Road by gun, Lake Berryessa, Brian Hartnell, and Bossy Cow Cecilia, shoe size 10.5, Ass Napa's silly detective Ken Narlow. For Hoffa, Farron shot JFK, Kennedy brother in the ICU, 6'5", 68. So for Bobby Kennedy, I shot Darlene Farron in Blue Rock Springs. Majot saw flashlight, part of me, cab driver Paul Lee Stein in San Francisco. Donna Lass for Giancana, supplied Numbatol, both Edward C. Adams, Yves Montand. Secrete it up Marilyn Monroe's rectum. FYI for your information, shitty crony rot. Lass is in Marie Anstey, LC, so Lake County, north off highway vehicle, but Lass loose. Yeah. Tiny teeth still there as I moved head with no teeth. northeast of the Nyack area by the Highway 80-20 split. They have Patty Hearst, UTI, happy to opportunity story about how IOU and how shitty Washington Post pulled off Northwest Orient hijacking called the DB Cooper Caper, going from. So is there anything you want to comment on that?
He put all of this, his whole story, again, from 1940s to 1974 time period, and by anagramming all the stenographic code on each page, which also includes the 7th page. So,
Gotcha.
I'm worried because he gets very cussy at one part of it. But
yeah, I'm about to see that. Let's see here. So going from Seattle, Washington to Reno, Nevada. So he's carrying on with the DB Cooper caper. Ransom money, Tina Barr, Zoo and Lie microfilm. Stewardess Tina Mucklow, Eisenhower Eagle dollar, fishing line hidden in briefcase compartment, jumped out aft down the stairs as plane was landing, never to be seen again. Dollar Fisk Harris got away. Thought I'd shout, fuck you, Avery, and fuck you, Poe. Why is he saying
with the situation?
Okay. Deep Throat 2. Yeah. Oh, how, wow, we. Oh, why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why. They thought that they brought the president. Oh, ho, 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 he. Split second, 6 bullets. Bullet fool, FBI Mark Felt. One did not know World War II. 2 Intel interpreter, or I'm sorry. One did not know World War II Intel interpreter, image interpreter of Natick, Massachusetts, Pagan Hill, Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, Greenhouse Potted Plants, Federal Trade Commission, Better Business Bureau, FBI agent W. Mark Felt, and Axis Powers Helmut Goldschmidt, codenamed Peasant in UK, radio transmissions, IO, D-Day Operation Orders Hour, out to German enemy territory of Normandy beaches, worked for shitty Hirohito. Hirohito? Who is that?
That's
Hirohito,
Japanese.
that's the Japanese guy.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Is now BoobTube TV.
He's a traitor. That Mark Feld is a traitor.
Is now BoobTube TV of Watergate's deep. Oh, God.
Sorry.
Is now BoobTube TV of Watergate's Deep Throat. Whoever thought it would be that way? That one FBI deputy director fool, tattletale Mark Felt, would have betrayed the president for the shitty old bag hot art to the Thuringia?
Yeah, Thuringia House. Yeah.
East Germany.
That's where the princess and Avery Brundage went to. It has everything to do with this. They were trying to repatriate. They were trying to unite East Germany and West Germany, but that part failed. And then this is all going on. So he's saying that Mark Feld is a traitor.
He was.
And the hot art went there.
East Germany, Ruse Bad House.
Actually belonged to them.
From Zodiac, correct address now with wife. Nora Kaufman Terrence, a P.O. Box, Shady Oaks, Texas. And of course, I threw up the picture of the property that Jack bought that was attached to that P.O. box in Shady Oaks, Texas.
To the best of my ability here, that's a lot of work. It makes sense. It all fits.
Well, and then the next one, let's see.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
I'm not sure which.
Or do you want me to?
I'm not sure what page this is, but you have TTT for Hoffa, Farenshot, Kennedy, brother Bobby, ICU.
That's the. That is page 4 of 6, but it's stand out. It's a standout. He's really saying something there. That's only.
Okay, let me read it.
Go for it.
Okay, let me read it.
Right here, though, too.
Oh, if you want to read it, go for it. You'll do better than I do.
Yeah, he's constantly using the acronym of TTTT. It's to tell the truth, and then this is saying for Hoffa, Farron shot. He shot Kennedy. Okay, Farron shot Kennedy brother Bobby ICU. So I shot Darlene Blue Rock Springs. Lejeune saw flashlight part of me. Cab driver Lee And then San Francisco, Donna Lass, she supplied Numbatol, E. Adams, as Edward Adams, with Yves Montand, both secret Marilyn Monroe of the rectum, Giancana wall message, Chinese Zhao Enlai, photoelectric Petit Philippe, Vietnam POW, John McCain, Kathleen Weed, baby father, thought I'd shout to FBI bullet pool, whoever thought it would be that way. One Deputy Director Tattletale Fool, Mark Felt, have betrayed the shitty old bag hot art to the Thuringia house. That's
so we already read that.
Yeah.
So we already read that.
It's just that it's standing out. It looks like he's really trying to scream about this issue that's very 1974. Mark Felt betraying and all kinds of things.
So that was page 4. Let me see if I see which one this is. One did not know World War II. So this looks like it's just something we've already read.
Yes.
President G. Ford.
But you read pretty much the completion of everything from beginning to end. Wow.
I like it a lot.
Gotcha.
Oh, thank you.
So then you have the Peek Through the Pines.
I have that.
Solved. Go ahead and read that one, because that one looks.
Yeah, we only got a minute or so. So let me see. I have. I'm going to read it as is, because it's saying President G. Ford. This is just anagramming everything, identifying everything on the Peak Pines card, everything. Okay. President G. Ford, White House, facsimile, 12/25 is December 25th. Carbon copy, assholes, San Francisco Examiner, the Hearst Building, 3rd Street, San Francisco, CA, the San Francisco Chronicle. He's very angry at these people. San Francisco, CA 94103, LA Times Building, Los Angeles, CA. To date, I sent 24 times, and then it's an ellipsis. He's ill, ellipsis, mad. UC Davis with FBI lab cutouts, to wit, Z code, sick. That means, quote, UIR. Where is the remedy? That's UBU remedium in Latin. Then he's saying he also sent it to Zarzana, 90133, letter, little list letter, John's letter, still alive, UIR. He's asking, where's the remedy? Assholes, IC 411, OSS Olson, die out window, November 53. Answer question, did Prescott Bush, Ishii, save 999, 2 cent Washington 322, Carmine Red, Shemak perforation, Cincinnati, Ohio stamp, the Dwight Eisenhower Saudi 666, that's the evil plan, 0901, Trader Deputy Director quit, Mark Felt, 42 to 44, he's the image interpreter person that's connected with him, is snitch, deep throat, CP, Oval Office, Presidential Oval Office, plug, leak op, location, Monteverde, apartment, D. Lass, Giancana to eat the 6 bullets, mistress, South Lake Tahoe, I executed East State Line, Y, roundabout, she let Darlene use suit, time card to hit RK head without, past Donner in the snow park, 80/20, CHP, run site, the Camp Spalding areas, last body, and he's saying keep going through Sierra to 12, that's Highway 12, to 29, north up to Lower Lake, go through Main Street, Morgan Valley Road, and he's trying to draw how to go there. Then it's North OHV, and UG is, I think it's an abbreviation for something. It's not mean ugly.
BLM.
Anyways, 95457. Yeah, it's a location. And then he's saying the teeth, the 6, the hotel. I mean, he's trying to add more, but he's saying what happened to her and where her teeth are, and it's very disgusting. But that's
so. Where do you think her teeth are?
He says her teeth are buried at the North OHB, where her head and was at 80/20. That's disgusting, I know. And I think the rest of her body is also supposed to be at one point at the North OHV here in Lower Lake.
Gotcha.
So I'm saying at one point because there's a lot that's been happening, and I have a feeling maybe they did find her remains, and because she's Catholic, she ends up being properly buried somewhere else, and we may not ever really know all of this.
Right.
Because we're only seeing, information from the media. So, but he spells Shemak a certain way. It's supposed to be Shermack, but I was seeing it all the time. And there's other people who also spell this unique stamp as Shemak. So I just thought I'd bring that up too. So any stamp collectors are going to say something.
So moving on from there, we are now actually entering into 1974, which I'm extremely excited about because things really start to get pumping around here, just like your solves seem to be reiterating themselves in 1974. We start to see additional samples that are being requested of possible suspects in the FBI FOIA files. Was there something that you wanted to say, Terry B?
Well, I wrote down a few things here that, you guys were talking, I don't want to interrupt, but I found an MK Ultra hint. I'll have to present that to you later. My solves are simply plain and obvious. They're not really solves, they're observations. And there's an MK Ultra one, enough said than that. I couldn't make out this long Tecum remedy. That was about what you were talking about is that there's a remedy for this MK Ultra thing. By licking the stamp, you get part of the antidote or whatever it is for that. And then this SCAIFE name, that's in plain text on an old Zodiac document, which I'll have to look up.
It was CAIF, and it was on Black Dahlia, and it was, I believe, meant to say California, but definitely it looked like CAIFE.
You got it, right. And then Toski, I think it's pronounced Toski. That's why I've heard it. Yeah, and Yevs is the way, YVES. His name is Yevs, is the proper pronunciation, I believe. I'm not 100% on that, but that's all I wanted to say. I like this stuff. This is great.
All right. Well, so FBI FOIA shows a suspect's handwriting taken on January 22nd of 1974. They've done some heavy redaction, which may be requests for those letter or those belltop A's that we talked about in one of the last sample they'd taken. I can't imagine that this is entirely a signature that they have redacted because it's much too large of a box. So they wanted us to not be able to see some aspect of this, which always boggles me because why put it out there as if you're informing America if you're going to redact information that can be helpful. Either way, on January 29th, 1974, Jack and Nora are living in Mount Occam, Placerville, California, when Danny Reynolds is released from CYA. Jack picks Danny up in San Jose, California, and we see the next letter, the Exorcist Letter, was mailed from San Mateo County or Santa Clara County, California, the very same day. Who brings their ex-wife's child to live with them unless you owed them really good? Like for the rap he took for Jack, possibly back in 1971 before the Zodiac went silent. And even though Doris left Jack in 1968 and divorced him, which was final in 1971, he is still in possession of a motorcycle that is in her name and taking her son in. So Dennis, Jack picking up Danny Reynolds and bringing him to the house to live there with him. It makes more sense with Jack still having affiliations with Danny Reynolds since his relationship is new with Nora. I did want to actually research the marriage certificate. Oh, we're down to 1 minute. So now after this aggravation, when you want to go show them what is what? Let's see. I'm going to see if I can't read this last little one real quick. So January 1974, Zodiac mailed his first letter in almost 3 years, and it was mailed from Sunnyvale. This is out of Dennis Kaufman's book. That made sense because Jack's son from his first marriage lived in Sunnyvale, and Jack made frequent trips to see him. The letter Zodiac mailed mentioned the movie The Exorcist. That made it even more likely to be Jack because a month earlier we were in Tahoe for Christmas, and while we were there, Jack, my mother, his sister, and her husband all went to the theater and saw The Exorcist. So he has mentioned Zodiac shot Betty Jensen and David Faraday on December 20th, 1968. He used a flashlight that was mounted to his gun, which is something that Dennis recognizes that Jack does when he hunts. And the Zodiac mailed the Exorcist Letter in January of 1974 from Sunnyvale, which he believed coincided with the picking up of Danny Reynolds from CYA. So that's about it, you guys. I'm sorry we don't really have any time for any last minute comments, but everybody have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next Friday.
Thanks, Harriet.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you to both of you.
Bye.
Take care.
Oh,